German Chancellor Friedrich Merz just walked out of the Oval Office after sitting down with our president, Donald Trump, and dropped one of the toughest statements we've heard from Europe in a long time. He said flat out, Europe will never accept a deal on Ukraine that's cooked up behind our backs. There will be no agreement without Europeans at the table. Friends, this isn't just polite diplomacy. This is real power talking. And today I'm breaking down exactly why this matters to us here in the States. Why Europe suddenly stopped playing nice and started laying down ultimatums. And why this could actually save not just Ukraine, but Trump's reputation too. Stick around, because this gets juicy. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that red button and turn on notifications right now. We drop these breakdowns nowhere else. So what exactly did Merz say? He flew into D.C. on March 3rd, 2026, yesterday, for face-to-face talks with Trump. Right after, he faced the press and laid it out. We all want this war over as fast as possible, but Ukraine has to preserve its territory and security interests. Russia is just playing for time here, and that's going against what the American president wants too. I urged increasing pressure on Moscow, and the killer line he repeated, we're not prepared to accept any agreement negotiated over our heads. In other words, Europe is drawing a red line. If Trump and Putin try to cut a side deal without Europe signing off, it's dead on arrival. This isn't empty talk. Europe holds two massive trump cards, pun intended, that even Trump can't ignore. First, sanctions. Even if Trump lifts U.S. sanctions on Russia in exchange for some concessions from Putin, Europe's sanctions stay locked in. Without Europe, Russia doesn't get real access to global markets. Second, those frozen Russian assets. Roughly $210 to $220 billion of Russia's money is sitting in European banks, mostly Belgium. Europe just decided to keep them frozen indefinitely, and they're already planning to use them as collateral for loans to Ukraine through 2026-2027. Trump can push all he wants, but without Europe's okay, Russia isn't getting that cash back. Period. Now the big question everyone's asking in the comments, why is Merz suddenly talking so tough? Before, European leaders tiptoed around Trump, nodded along, smiled for the cameras. Now, boom, straight ultimatum. The answer is simple, and it hits home for us Americans. 1. Trump doesn't have any concrete wins on Ukraine to brag about yet. He promised to end the war in one day. We're now over a year into his second term. The war's in its 5th year. Trilateral talks, U.S., Russia, Ukraine, are ongoing. The next round might be soon, maybe even in Abu Dhabi. But everyone sees Putin using these talks to buy time and keep the fighting going. Merz said it to Trump's face. 2. The Supreme Court smackdown. Remember those massive tariffs Trump rolled out early on? On February 20th, 2026, the Supreme Court ruled IEEPA doesn't give the president power to impose those kinds of sweeping tariffs. Gone. All that economic leverage Trump could use to bully Europe vanished. Europeans no longer fear getting crushed by U.S. trade threats. Now they can speak plainly. We're done with the shakedown. 3. And this is huge for us Americans, the war with Iran. Yep, you heard that right. Starting February 28th, the U.S. and Israel launched major strikes on Iran. We're already several days in. Hits on Tehran, nuclear sites, command centers. They even took out Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei himself. Trump says it's to stop Iran getting nukes and missiles. But polls show most Americans aren't on board with another big war. People are tired, and Trump is going to need Europe badly, soon. Germany, France, the UK, they can provide logistics, intel, UN support, maybe even more resources. Without Europe, this Iran operation drags on and costs American taxpayers even more billions. Merz knows it. That's why he's talking tough. You want our help on Iran? Then listen to us on Ukraine. Let's be real. Our guys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, are deep in these talks, clocking crazy hours. But Europe isn't sitting idle. European national security advisors were already in the room for recent rounds, holding side meetings with the Ukrainian team. That's not random. It's Europe saying, we're in this fight. I wouldn't be shocked if in the next few days, Witkoff has to sit down with Europeans and explain exactly what the US is offering. Or maybe Europe straight up reminds Trump of his own earlier idea, the one that actually made sense. Ceasefire first, then negotiate. He pushed that before, but after his one-on-one with Putin, he backed off for some reason. A lot of people in Europe call that a diplomatic fumble. I want the war over, but not if it means Ukraine surrenders after 4+ years of hell. Not if Putin gets everything he fought for. Because if Putin wins here, tomorrow it's the Baltics, Poland, and then American boys and our money are on the line, big time. Europe is actually giving Trump a way to come out looking strong. They're open to a deal, but only one where Ukraine keeps its core territory. No more big concessions. There are real security guarantees, NATO Article 5 style. Russia pulls troops out. Sanctions stay until full compliance. And crucially, Europe is ready to back Trump on Iran. That's a win-win for America. We don't carry the whole world alone. We don't foot every bill. So Merz's tough tone isn't betrayal. It's a friendly wake-up call. Donald, we're with you, but not at any price. And honestly, that's what real allies do. Think about it. If Europe blocks those frozen assets and keeps sanctions tight, Putin literally can't accept a weak deal Trump might want. Russia's economy is hurting. China won't pay full price for oil. India's getting squeezed too. If Europe stands firm, Putin has to compromise. And we Americans win either way. We spend less on Ukraine. Europe's already stepping up more. Trump saves face. Putin doesn't get to celebrate victory. We get European muscle on Iran. This isn't weakness, it's smart power. So tell me in the comments, what do you think? Should Trump listen to Merz and bring Europe fully in, or keep pushing Putin harder right now while Iran's on fire? If this hit home, smash that like button. It really helps the algorithm. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next one, we're diving deeper. What a real deal might look like, and how it could affect gas prices here at home. Thanks for watching, fam. Stay locked in. We're Americans. We stand for truth. Peace to all of us. God bless America.